Hello everyone and welcome to Fashion Plates, and thank you for joining us for this special opportunity to hear from some of our Fashion Plates models. After all, they are the reason we come together every year at this time to celebrate their lives and also to continue in the effort to find a cure for MS. My name is Anthony Everett. I'm a longtime board member of the MS Society. I'll be your host today for this special presentation. As you know, this year is a little bit different. We had hoped to have our in-person event again this year, but we decided it was better to postpone because of the threat posed by the Delta variant. But we weren't going to let this day, this time of year, pass without a special presentation, because after all, Fashion Plates has been going strong for nearly 2 decades and nothing's going to stop us now. Before we get to hear from our models, first I'd like to introduce the woman who founded this event, past board chairperson of the National MS Society New England chapter, a current board member, and the founder of Fashion Plates, Piper McNeely.
Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. As Anthony mentioned, we had to make the incredibly hard decision to postpone this year's in-person fashion show. We just felt it was too risky for our models, our guests, our staff, and everyone else who come together to celebrate the women of Fashion Plates. In light of this, we are instead taking the opportunity to send a message of gratitude. We send our thanks to you and the vast community who support our show, and most importantly, the remarkable women of Fashion Plates who live with MS every day. I am looking forward to hearing from some of these women in just a moment, and I am so grateful that you have tuned in to join us. Fear not, we are planning to be back in full gear next year to celebrate our women and our cause. But while our event may have to wait until next year, creating a world free of MS remains our mission. Thank you for all that you do to support us. Your love and commitment is infectious. I do look forward to seeing you all next year, but for now, please know how much we appreciate you and the community that you have helped build. So again this year, we wanted you to hear from the models themselves in their own words. So we spoke with them about 2 things: what it's like been managing COVID, and the message of gratitude that they have for all of you. So without further ado, I present you the models of Fashion Plates 2021.
The pandemic was tough for me. My family definitely had to isolate. We actually moved and had to leave our home and was very cut off a lot. And I only just kind of came out of isolation as of last May. So for my family and my young children, that was very challenging because they couldn't be with other people and they couldn't be as social. Because of having MS, I've learned to roll with things much more easier. And I think dealing with the pandemic, I focused on kind of rolling with it and knowing that there was a light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully there is, and to just stay focused and positive, and to know that even with those dark days, you'll get through it.
I was newly diagnosed with MS when the pandemic started. I was still learning to adjust to my diagnosis and this unpredictable path my life suddenly took. I already felt very isolated, trying to navigate the challenges of having this invisible disease while pretending to not be suffering. Once the pandemic hit, the whole world was suddenly doing the same. We were all feeling scared as we tried to navigate through unprecedented times while isolating ourselves from the world around us. We all just did what we had to do, and what people living with MS are forced to do on almost a daily basis. We adjusted. We made changes that would keep us safe, that would keep our families safe, and that would keep the public safe. And as more information and facts were discovered, we adjusted again and again.
COVID for me personally wasn't horrible. It wasn't like a big lifestyle change so much because my life as an MS patient, I'm the master modifier. So if I don't feel good on a certain day, I know how to change my lifestyle so that way I can feel better that day and then I can do something else the next day. Or I know not to make plans 2 days back to back because that runs me down. I modify my lifestyle constantly as an MS patient because I am an MS patient. And a lot of MS patients do the same thing. It wasn't a travesty to change the way I do stuff, basically, because I'm used to doing that in my life anyway.
Although MS changed my life, it made me stronger and wiser and more flexible, patient, and even so appreciative of the support and the resources that surround me. During the COVID-19 pandemic, I've developed a new appreciation for all the MS-given lessons and the strength that I developed since living with this disease. Strangely enough, I am less afraid, less frustrated, and less stressed than many of my family members and friends. And it's because I know in my heart that this is going to be okay. We will get through this, just as we've gotten through the challenges that MS has placed in the road in front of us.
You didn't know what it was going to do to you if you had MS and got COVID. You just didn't know how that was going to affect you. And MS is already so unpredictable that some people, even models I've done I've modeled with in the fashion plates, there's some people who are, using walking aids and things, and others who are, battling symptoms that you can't even see. And it's just, we're all over the place with our unpredictability, which we kind of already live with all the time. And then adding in this new level of this plague, it was just so bizarre. I mean, it still is, but it's become our new norm, I guess. So it's been a lot easier to live with now.
Obviously, the one difference between COVID and MS is that, with MS, I'm really worrying about mostly my own health. And with COVID, I was worrying about everyone. So everyone around me, I had to, be thinking about them and their health and their habits too. One of the things I learned from COVID was when everything was sort of shutting down initially and you had to create your bubble. That for me forced me to prioritize and think about who are the people in my life that are the most important and the people that I felt like I couldn't live without. So, mostly that was family, but a couple of also really close friends that are like family to me. We sort of created this pact, so to speak, to be safe and make good choices and to only see each other. And, so I think that's something that I'll always carry with me is that, prioritizing of who are your people and who do you want in your bubble, no matter what.
The major challenge during COVID was to ensure I was doing everything I could to keep myself healthy as possible. Unfortunately, I did contract COVID, so that was a wake-up call to say the least. My COVID symptoms were minor though. I had a loss of taste and smell, along with stuffy head and a feeling of tiredness. But it did reinforce a desire to have a more focus on my overall health. I decided to work on my diet and nutrition while taking regular walks. I have kept my mind sharp by reading more often. As a result, I have lost 30 pounds over the past 18 months and have read more books than I ever would have before COVID. I guess there is a lot of truth in the expression, sound mind, sound body.
Thank you for all your support in the past, but I hope you really continue to support us in the future because we're going to come back bigger and better than ever. And the fact is the cause hasn't gone away yet. And it's still something that's very important because we do need to push forward and hopefully find a cure. And I think let's just do it, basically. And as I always put it, in my family motto is let's rock it and do it the best of our ability.
First and foremost, I am a mother to two beautiful little girls. I am fighting this disease with one goal in mind: to be present and to be involved in my daughters' lives. Pandemic or not, living with MS is hard, really hard. But what is equally as challenging is having a mother with MS, or a wife, or a daughter. The money raised through Fashion Plates not only supports people like myself living with MS, but also our families who are just as much affected by this disease as we are. So thank you to all our generous supporters and donors who help fund the programs offered to us and our families by the MS Society. I look forward to seeing you all, maybe even from that runway, next year.
I would like to express heartfelt thanks to everybody who has supported Fashion Plates in the past. For me, last year, participating was one of the really bright spots of a really rough year. And again, even though it was a virtual fashion show, it was still really fun, and it was really special for me, even though it was my first time. It's because of all the people who contribute and organize this. So I really appreciate everybody who's involved and helps and contributes in all the different ways that they do, because I think it's a really special event, and I look forward to being part of it again, I hope, next year.
Like the whole Fashion Plates, we had to modify it last year. We did a virtual one. And then this year, we're doing something totally different, but we're back. And next year, we'll be back full strength, hopefully. And if we're not, we're going to be back. It's just going to take some time to be full strength. Fashion Plates will be back because there's too many people that are part of that team to keep it pushing forward.
One question has proven very helpful for me at times of despair and frustration, and that is, what's the gift in this? So I challenge you, the next time you're facing a dark moment, ask yourself the question. Look for the gifts that are around you. They're amazing. They're everywhere. You just have to look hard.
I would like to thank the many supporters of Fashion Plates. Your continuing generosity is funding the critical research that will lead to a brighter future for all MS patients. And a personal thank you to the Sullivan Family Foundation, which is so very near and dear to my heart. Thank you.
Fashion Plates is something that is a really unique fundraiser, and it gives people a chance who don't always feel they're most beautiful to feel beautiful. And I guess I'd want to say to everybody that usually goes and donates, and people who are maybe thinking of donating, that this is something that we need to keep alive, and just imagine how excited everybody's going to be next year when we're in person again. That's bottled up of 2 years of not. So, it's usually the excitement's up to here in just a regular year. So when we come out of this trying time, I think that was really going to be something even more fantastic.